You put my dear one down this instant. Be smart. You know you can't outrun me. You certainly can't beat me in a fight. You even know why your new so-called king is having you do this? Did he tell you that it's all for petty revenge? You don't need to get yourself killed over something so idiotic. Good. Now leave immediately, and you can tell your master whatever you want. But make sure he understands that any action he takes against me is a waste of time. I gave him the power he has. He can't hope to use it against me. Come here. Are you all right, dear one? Come here. Come here. Don't worry. You're safe. Nothing could have happened to you. In the worst case scenario, there would have been a short chase, and then I would have brought you right back here. You can't be hurt by anyone as long as you're mine. Still, I'm sorry I wasn't already by your side. I'm sure it must have been scary being manhandled by some menacing stranger. I was attending to something. I should have been more cautious. It's pretty chilly in here, don't you think? It's thanks to that broken window we came in through. Come. Let me fix that. Let's go into my room to talk. Come inside, darling. I have the fireplace going and it's so nice and warm in here. More importantly, it's completely safe. My window looks into the courtyard, so it wouldn't be so simple from someone to get in. Like yours. I should have moved you here as soon as I heard about the attack, but I went to survey the forces first. Very perceptive of you, dear. You are correct. It was my former client, now the king of the northern elflands, who sent that kidnapper after you. Just as I feared, he saw you as a target to get back at me. I'm sure he would have held you ransom to convince me to do something to solidify his role. That's right. He brought a small army to our city. I think it was mostly for a distraction while he sent the kidnappers ahead. A smarter move than I would have given him credit for, but still so transparent. I had to deal with the rest of the would-be abductors on the way here. Why don't I change into my night clothes, and then we can cuddle in bed together while we talk things over? Oh, look at you blush. Relax. I won't do anything untoward. I can just tell that you're still shaken, and I want to do what I can to make you feel safe and comfortable. And don't worry, I do have a privacy screen to change behind. Just one moment. What's that, dear? Oh, the army. Nothing to worry about. We vampires built this city expecting that people would someday try to come in and wipe us out. The outer wall is probably the sturdiest ever devised. Hold on. There. They don't have a chance of breaching it. And the window for sneaking in amid the confusion has passed. Not to mention, well, the city is packed to the brim with the most powerful vampires in the world. We'll let them play at their siege for now, but we can drive them off easily whenever we choose. Much better. I love my dresses. I love how they make me look, but I can't stand how restrictive they are. Now, come here and let me put my arms around you. You're so warm. I'm sorry that I can't provide much warmth myself, but I hope you're still comfortable. I want to lie with you here and tell you, now, where were we? Oh yes, about the king. Well, rest assured that his attack will fail spectacularly. I'll give the elves credit. They are splendid warriors. They're agile, graceful, and have superb eyesight. However, none of that will do them much good at night. We picked this location for our city because of how cloudy it is. They won't even have moonlight to light their way. Whenever we choose, we can swoop in and drive them off. Fighting a vampire is difficult enough as it is. Without being able to properly see us, it will be completely impossible. They will likely retreat without so much as a drop of blood spilled, regardless of that fool king orders. And that's how we prefer to do things. We have a bad enough reputation as it is, simply by being what we are. We don't need to worsen things by killing when we don't need to. I don't even need to kill the king, even though now is a prime opportunity. Given that his very first act was to lead an impressively poorly managed military action against an overwhelmingly powerful enemy for the sake of a personal vendetta? I doubt that he will remain in power for long. But darling, let's not talk about him anymore. He is entirely unimportant in the end. You, on the other hand, you make for a far more interesting subject of conversation. Poor thing. Your heart. It's still beating so fast. You're still frightened? You don't have anything to worry about with me around, you know? Well then, something else must be making your heart thump so furiously. Is it because you're lying here in my arms? You're so sweet. It warms my heart that you react that way to me. When I was turned, I spent years being hunted and called a monster. It was awful. And for a while I thought they were right. I hated myself. I thought I was some ugly, cruel, horrible beast. Having my dear ones, it has helped me feel more human. But even among all my dear ones, you stand out in particular. Naturally, it's hard to accept that they have no choice but to stay with me. Even if it is better than the alternative. I always manage to win over my dear ones, but some will always see me as simply the lesser of two evils. To many more, I'm an employer who has earned their respect. A select few truly do love me, either as a romantic interest or as a motherly figure. But you alone, you appear to absolutely adore me. The look in your eyes when I walk into the room melts my heart every single time. It's as though you think I'm the most amazing person you've ever met. Come now, sweet, sweet thing. There's no point in hiding your feelings. I have centuries of experience of learning to read a face. And anyways, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. And you stir up emotions in myself as well. Ones that I thought I'd forgotten long ago. It's been a long, long time since I have been interested in someone romantically. have tried relationships with humans a few times before, but it's incredibly difficult. Naturally, the difference in lifespan is part of it. It's heart-wrenching to fall in love with someone who you know will die relatively quickly. And I couldn't bear to turn them into a vampire, knowing how difficult it's been for me. But the difference in the length of life I've already lived is a problem as well. My wealth of knowledge is useful, but in the past my partners have come to resent how much more experienced and far-seeing I am than them. I guess, sort of like humans have different levels of maturity, can struggle to get along. Funnily enough, you seem very different from any of the people I have loved before. You don't seem to be intimidated by my power and wisdom. Rather, you act as though you're in awe of it. Makes me think that perhaps we could have something in the works. Now, I want to be very clear on a few things. First, this is not an order. I keep you here as my darling for the sake of my own existence, but I won't force you to enter a relationship with me. Second, I'm not completely sure yet what sort of relationship this could become. It's a bizarre situation, to say the least. I doubt we could be an ordinary couple. But if you would like to try, then I would love to see where we go. That was quick. Are you sure, darling? You can think it over if you want. You don't need to leap into this. Oh, my wonderful darling. You've made me so happy. No. Wait. You're no longer simply a darling, are you? What should I call you? No point in overthinking it. I'm sure that my love will do for now. What do you think? Very well then. Thank you. Thank you for being your wonderful self, my love. I'm gonna do everything in my considerable power to make you happy. I only ask that you do the same for me. Let's go to bed, my love.